Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sharing with Shannon. I'm Shannon. I've been missing the connections lately, and so I thought that I would just see what everybody's up to. I'm hoping that someone else shows up besides me, but if not, I'll talk a little bit about what's been going on in my life. There's been a lot of drama going on in the community lately, and I guess I'd like to set the record straight on things. I really do miss everyone in our community. It seems to be a little bit disjointed at the time, and there have been I've heard rumors about some falsehoods that have been being said about me, and I just want to make sure that that it's not true. I would never hurt a friend. I never have hurt a friend. I miss all of my friends. There's been some drama going on in my life lately. My dog was recently in the ICU for 5 days, and I didn't think he was going to survive it. And I keep saying, and so I'm going to really try to expand my vocabulary a little bit because that is a really bad habit. I do not like saying So my dog's birthday was yesterday. He turned 9, and so did his little bratty sister. And we had a little birthday party for him where he got to have his first bone after surgery, which made me very happy and him very happy as well. Hi, Deb. Thanks for being here. I want to thank you so much for being here. I'm back now. I left for a moment. I started panicking and thinking that it wasn't working, and so I got a little freaked out. But thank you so much for being here. So, am I back? I know there's a little bit of a time lag on everything, but it's okay now. So my dog Teddy was in the ICU for 5 days, and I really didn't think he was going to make it. And I got to stop saying This is really my very first live stream all by myself, and I'm used to talking to someone. Well, you wouldn't be scolded by me for emojis. I love emojis. That's cool. I'm very grateful that anyone just showed up. I actually had a hard time setting this up, and I am practicing, and I'm practicing with everyone. Hi, Rolling Stone. Thank you so much for being here also. I was telling everybody about all the drama in my life concerning Teddy. He actually had a septic abdomen, and which meant that he was a very sick puppy. And this was just 2 weeks ago, and he almost didn't make it to his 9th birthday. But we are so happy he is feeling better. He is begging for treats again. And come here. Come here. Okay. Okay, ready? Okay. So here is a dog that does not want to be on screen. Roxy, do you know where the camera is? It's over there. Oh my gosh. You are not ready. You are not ready for your close-up, Mr. DeMille. No, you are just not there. Yes, it was very happy news for me and for Teddy. And I have decided recently that I want to get into the dating pool. And I've decided that before I do that, since I ended up in some communities that weren't the best for me, that I decided to look into some recommendations for how to do this. I haven't dated in a while, and I thought that I would look this up, because to me, dating is just terrifying. And so the number one thing, see, get over here. I have a tendency to attract narcissists. I don't know if anybody else has a tendency to do that. See, this is Roxy, and she likes all the attention to be on her. So hi Roxy. Say hi, Roxy. So anyways, since I don't want to attract narcissists, I decided to pull up some things to try and prevent that from happening. The number one thing that it says to do is to don't overshare on the first date, especially. That can be used as a way to both figure out your weak points, to see what your motivations are, what makes you happy, what makes you sad, and how you can be controlled, so that they can use the carrot or the stick. Like if your biggest fear is, say, being alone, they could say, all right, well, if you don't do this, well, then I'm leaving. And if they know that that is one of your fears, and because they've figured that out, because you came right out and shared that right away, being an open and honest person, if you did that on the first date, they can figure out right away, like, how to control you. And I don't think any of us want to be controlled. We just want to get to know each other in a healthy way. And one of the ways to do that is to ask a lot of questions of them. There are certain things that you want to ask them. Ask them a question about perhaps if what they've learned from their past relationships that they might need to work on. And depending on their response to that will you can get a feeling for the type of person you're dealing with. And the most important thing to do that you want to concentrate on is your gut feeling. A lot of us have been through so much in our lives that we disregard what our gut feelings are. And your gut isn't wrong. We have through Darwinian assistance, we have this fight or flight built into us, where our gut knows what the wrong signals are. It also knows if you're getting a very shallow affect, if the person isn't really there, but they're studying you to try and figure out, like I said, what your weakness is. Roxanne, quit being silly. I'm sorry, everyone. She's being really bad. Get over here. Get over here. Say hi to everybody and then quit being a brat. Okay? How's that? Oh, Roxanne. Just the thought of it is giving you hives, a Rolling Stone. You know what? I'm not too far behind you on that. I I have been always attracted to the wrong kind of guys. I have had men that have used that threat. Uh, if they don't like something that you have to say, oh, well, okay, well, then I'm leaving you. And I finally figured out the best way to handle that is to say, there's the door and move on. Next, let's move on. A good 4-letter word is next because you're worth it. Like, and anybody that doesn't see that in you, then next, because you are worth it. You know, we all are. We all have value. And but the other things that you also need to be aware of are that narcissists and toxic people, they also seem to switch emotions quickly. A good way to evaluate a relationship is to take things very slowly. And one way is also to travel with a person, because that way you get to see how people act when they're not in control of everything. Are they okay with that? Or do their emotions fluctuate all over the place? That's how do they handle stressful situations? How do they treat you when they're in stressful situations? That is all just so important to everything. And another thing to watch for are, especially with male narcissists, are they always the best at everything? Do they know everything? Do they talk like they're the most successful person at everything? And yet they're not a CEO or a CFO of a corporation. How and if you don't let them, one other thing that I've also noticed is that if you are in a relationship with someone, and this happened to me once, where you say no, and then you say no, and then you say no, and then you're like, well, okay. Okay, well, then they know that your boundaries aren't solid, that you can be talked into doing something that you don't really want to do. And so then your no won't be powerful the next time. They won't take you seriously the next time. And to me, that is the basic goal, is that you just, I think a relationship is like any other relationship. It's just like any other friendship. If you have friends, then you can have a relationship, but you want it to be based on true friendship and trust. And listen to that gut. Oh, you're walking your dog. Oh, cool. What kind of a dog do you have when you get a chance? When you get a chance to type it in. So, I also wanted to let everyone know that I have been a mod on Reddit for the Lifeboat Survivors page on Reddit. And we are trying to decide if we want to keep it open or not. At first, there was a fairly big response as people were trying to figure out the best ways to move on. I personally, I miss everyone. I miss the community. I miss the friendships. Uh, and that's why I decided that if I want a community, then maybe I will see if I can make my own, just and have my own friends, and we can all learn from each other. If anybody has something to add on how to discern if you think somebody might be a narcissist or not, please add. Please contribute. Oh, hi, Deidre Gore. That's okay. Nobody's ever late. Yes, New Zealand. I can't even imagine what time zone that is. That's completely the other side of the planet. That's definitely tricky. So yeah, I was just telling everyone about the situation on Reddit and if we're going to continue. You you I wish I had a narcissistic radar. I wish I did too. Unfortunately, I've been hurt by them in the past. I don't want to claim to be an empath, uh, but they do seem to be drawn to me, uh, or maybe I seem to be drawn to them. And that's why I want to make sure that this time around, I want to make it a little bit healthier. These were the first 5 things that I came up with when I was studying how to start the online dating thing. The next thing is to make sure that you can get a really good photograph and a really good description of, well, again, you want to put enough information out there about yourself, but you don't want to share too much. Let's see. A Rolling Stone. I approach men the way I approach highway driving. I assume everyone is a serial killer until proven otherwise. It might be lonely, but I'm still. I love that. That's perfect. That is so perfect. Oh, Ben, why are you always the voice of reason? My gosh, that's my brain. Our brain favors what it is familiar with, even if it's harmful. I agree with that. That's our brain. But that's why I need to listen to my gut. Every time I've went against my gut, I have regretted it with a passion. I really have every time. I mean, when I was in massage school, I am a massage therapist. It's one of the many things that I've done in my life. Hi, Rick Spicer. Good to see you. When I was in massage therapy school and we were pairing up, there was this creepy guy that wanted to pair up with me. And I got that nasty knot in my stomach. And I said, sure. And what did I do? Did I say, no, I'll find someone else? And I said, oh, sure. Well, yeah, that was a mistake. He definitely took it right to the edge of being inappropriate with me. And then later on, I reported him, and the school didn't take it seriously, didn't take me seriously. And then the next girl, then he went even further with. And I don't want to go into exactly what happened, but I'm sure you can guess. And definitely, hi, Mysterious Mayo. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. um, so, anyways, with the next person, they didn't take what I reported seriously, so he took it further with the next girl, and so then he ended up being kicked out of the massage school. And later on, but he just went to another massage school and still got a license. And to this day, it makes me nervous to get a massage, even though I did massage, but not, I trust me. I just have a hard time trusting others. So, so to this day, I'm still a little nervous when I get a massage because in school I was already treated inappropriately. And if I had listened to that little gut inside, that just that gnawing feeling, I should have listened to it. Ben says, also taking control of the relationship, changing the date you can meet can be helpful. Watch the reaction. A narcissist, psychopath, or sociopath will have a reaction which is way overboard. That was one of the things that I was just talking about is how do they handle it when they're not in control? I have a question for a man's point of view. Now, maybe Ben could answer, or maybe Rick could answer. Now, what is this a sign of? Is this just a male ego thing? I had a really good friend, male friend, and we were out and we were bowling, and I beat him at bowling. And I suck at bowling, but I won, and he was furious. Is that a normal thing? Or, I mean, I ended up not dating him, but I'm just wondering if that was a narcissist that maybe I got away. I didn't have to learn the hard way with him. I was just like, okay, well, that's just a little freaky. It's bowling. We also forget things so quickly after a date, piling something in a couple of piles like pennies, one in a good and another in a bad. Note there will always be some in the bad pile. Well, actually, one of the things in the bad pile will be if it's too good to be true. Because, oh, that is a red flag. Okay, good. Good to know. Yeah, no, he was absolutely furious at me for hours. And I'm like, I that was absolutely insane. It was a really crazy fit. Like that's insane. A little bit of ribbing here and there or whatever. I mean, I have a pretty good sense of humor. It was, it should have been nothing. Um, but one of the major things that I've also been researching about narcissists is also if things are too good to be true. It's like, well, what's your favorite food? Oh, crawfish etouffee. Oh, mine too. What do you like? What do you eat for breakfast? Eggs Benedict. Eggs Benedict is my favorite too. What's your favorite country in Europe? I'll say this for Deidre Gore. Ireland. Ireland's my favorite country too. Wow. It's just meant to be. We are just meant to be together. And then just take that to the point where, wow, this is just amazing. We are soulmates. Let's just, yeah, if it's too good to be true, they're studying you and they're trying to get to know you. And and they will certainly use that at a later date to try and control you and use some sorts of coercive control. Now, I'm not going to say every single time, but also, I know Ben is really into the body language. I wasn't going to go too much into the body language, but also if you start noticing a difference in body language, if you ask them what they did yesterday and they look this way and give you very concise, what they did yesterday, and then you ask them about, I don't know, about something else and they look up and to the right or down and look the other direction. Okay, well, something's not right. Something's not consistent. Or if they start all of a sudden, you ask them what they ate for breakfast and they start blinking a lot, like, well, I don't, like, they're under stress. And is there really a reason for stress about what you ate for breakfast, or is there a reason that you're concentrating too hard on trying to come up with something? At the end, did you feel good, bad, or even good but drained? If you're drained, that's a red flag. That is one of the ones that I came up with. Exactly. Did you just not, you had a fine time, you had a great conversation, but you're just exhausted and you don't really feel great afterwards. That should definitely be a red that should definitely be a red flag as well. Deaudre Gore says, I've never dated. It actually sounds hellish. Well, I suppose it's sort of like shopping, only where you're really vulnerable. Like, because you have to put yourself out there to a certain extent, right? I mean, there's no point in, there's a vulnerability to it. And I have to admit, even being on YouTube right now, there's a vulnerability here. Like, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit uncomfortable with it, but I told myself that I would do this one day. I would step out of my comfort zone. That is one of my goals. I have certain goals that I've set for myself, and I thought that stepping out of my comfort zone would be, and this was as good a time as any. A Rolling Stone says, like shopping, that makes so much sense. I also hate shopping. I don't care for shopping either. I think you and I have spoken about it before, but my mother was actually a shopping addict, and I spent my entire childhood watching my mom shop. And so I was like the kid in the corner trying to find something to do, trying, bored out of my mind in as my mom would send all these people in the shopping center to go, okay, well, I like this, but I want it in a bigger size in blue with a belt and oh, and could you also have it with short sleeves and a V-neck? And she would just send all these people just running all over the place to try and find things. And there is nothing more boring for a child than to be sitting there going, oh, okay. So she turned me into the type of person. She turned me into the type of person that I want to go in and I want to see what's on the mannequin. And I'm like, okay, pack that up. I'll take that. Well, I'll try it on first. If it looks okay on me, then I'll take it because I don't want that only in a size, triple X in lime green, mini skirt, bell bottoms with a belt, and just to keep the people just running around. Shopping, but some of the products are randomly poisoned. And that's true, and that's where your gut comes in. And that's where you have to go with, how do you feel afterwards? And just listening to that gut. A Rolling Stone. Honestly, I've never dated as a sober person. Previously, smashing into somebody while drunk was my preferred way of dating. Yeah, I can't. That's, yeah. It might be a little easier when sober. Your judgment is maybe better. Oh, but you're more vulnerable when you're sober. That's why it's better if you've had a few drinks. But you definitely aren't going to make as good of a decision. But you definitely have to, in my opinion, and obviously all of this is just completely my opinion, since I've made a lot of wrong decisions, is just every time that I've gone against that little gut feeling, you need to not let your head rule this. You need to go with your gut. You honestly can't even let your heart decide. Your heart wants to fall in love. Don't we all want to be loved? I mean, I think everyone does. Uh, but we have an unconscious warning system in us through years that have kept us alive up until this point, that tells us when there's something wrong with dating or with a certain person. And you really need to pay attention to that. And, in my opinion, my gut has never been wrong. And my head has been wrong so many times. And so I really need to concentrate on that. Uh, did my answer show up? Not sure. Nightbot gave me a warning. Oh, gosh. I'll have to figure out the whole Nightbot thing. Sorry about that, Rick Spicer. I don't I don't mind the symbols. Wow. So anyway, so I wanted to thank everybody for being here. I would like to ask everyone though if anybody would be interested in participating in in the Reddit, for the survivors. Please let me know. Contact me through Reddit. I am trying to figure out if we are going to continue with it. Ben, I didn't even remember setting up Nightbot. Did I set it up? I don't know how. I must have set it up. I don't know how it works. A Rolling Stone says, I don't have the heart for it. I don't want to fall in love again. I have low self esteem, high expectations, and zero patience for drama. Good combination for half of a happy couple. I don't think there's anything wrong with having high expectations. And I don't think there's anything wrong with no patience for drama. I don't think there has to be drama. The low self-esteem we need to work on though, right? Because we are valuable. I know you're a wonderful person. So I mean, I probably have low self-esteem too, but that's something that we both should work on. Fair enough, maybe a dog. My dogs are the best. I mean, what's better than unconditional love? Can anyone say that unconditional love is a bad thing? I'm open to helping on Reddit once I have an idea of what that would involve. I'll tell you what, I'll just add you to it. If you don't like it, I'll take you back out. That's not a problem. I'll, unless you know who won't let me, but I'll try and work on it. Hi, sweet tea. Thanks. Thanks. I'm so glad that you're here. I was going to contact you and see if you wanted to go with me. I was terrified of going live, and I had butterflies in my stomach. And it's so funny. Seventh talked me through it. He talked me through the butterflies, and then he didn't show up. So, that's crazy. Uh, my dogs are the cutest. I mean, I'm biased, but thank you so much. Roxy's my avatar, so uh, she's my good girl. Zero cognitive intelligence. So, but yeah, I need to get past my extreme anxiety about going live. I'm a lot more comfortable about conversations than I am of talking to myself. And I really didn't think anybody would show up. I didn't think anybody would see the notification, and I didn't think anybody would be here. And so I want to thank everyone for being. So I want to thank everyone for being here. Um, I really, it means so much to me. There's nothing like the love of a dog. I'm a cat parent, but I appreciate how wonderful dogs are. I've never had a cat. I've always been I'm allergic to both, and but much more allergic to cats than dogs. But my heart, they steal my heart so much that when I lost my dog Apollo, I it took me 10 years before I could open my heart to another dog, because he broke my heart so badly. Like when I lost him, I was lost. And I was just so devastated. Uh, but but they really are the best. They're just the best form of companionship. And no matter if you're in a grumpy mood or whatever's going on, no matter what, they are happy to see you and wagging their tails. And well, except for Roxy, she was being a little bratty today at the beginning of the stream. I have to admit, she's a little spoiled, but if she's spoiled, it's because, I spoiled her. But yeah, it's expensive but worth it. I almost bought one to just give away. I believe in it so much. I would like an unusual pet holding out for a space monkey. Okay. Is that a real pet, or like an AI pet? Or is that a stupid question? You know what, Ben? Today I was watching Chase on a video, and I was thinking that I would love to see Chase on your show. He's fabulous. I was watching as I was doing I guess, studying to try and think about what I would talk about on the show. I was watching some videos that he was in, and he really is just so great. But I liked your other show with Scott. Scott Rouse is really great too. Did you just say your next dog is going to be a cat? That's funny. I've thought about that too, because cats I think are a little bit easier to deal with. They're not quite as demanding as dogs, but and some are just can be just as loving as dogs, from what I understand. When I met Mac, when I went to visit her on my layover, She had the two friendliest cats ever. I had two cats in my lap when I visited her. And I'm like, well, these are cool cats. She said I wouldn't see them the entire time. And they spent the entire time that I was there in my lap. So I thought that that was super cool. And I didn't have an allergic reaction, which I was really surprised. Oh, I can relate. We wouldn't have a cat now, but she showed up starving in our yard. That's so wonderful, though. You gave her a home. That's that's awesome. I had an iguana once, space monkeys. Is that like sea monkeys? I think I could. I had sea monkeys once. I think they died though. I, I don't think that they were very good pets. Did you really have an iguana? You know, we have iguanas all over the place here now, and I've lived here for most of my life, and I never used to see iguanas, but they are really taking over here. And iguanas are kind of aggressive. I had one that was laying eggs like out near my driveway, and when I walked out with the dogs, it just came charging at us, and it's like I mean, it was about this big. And I was like scared to death of this like charging lizard. It scared the crap out of me. It was absolutely insane. Yeah, such a disappointment, sea monkeys. See how Nard see how Nard would be to date me. My humor and I don't think it would be hard to date you, Rick. Hi, Cheech. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. You, Rick Spicer, you are funny. Are you trying to date now? I think that's really brave. Uh, Ben, I don't know if Ben is still here. If Ben is still here, if he could throw up Rick Spicer's channel, I'd really appreciate that. But I'm not sure if Ben left. I might need to start making people mods. I had it figured out at one time, and I certainly wouldn't know how to do it quickly now. But I definitely need to have a few mods if I'm going to start going live. A Rolling Stone says, I did have an iguana. His name was Ziggy Stardust, the amazing iguana from Pittsburgh. Someone stole him. Oh no. That is so sad. Now, do iguanas bite? I have that question. Oh, thanks for putting that up for me, Ben. Oh, and I believe Cheech has a channel too. Would you mind putting Cheech's channel up? Deaudre Gore, have you ever been to the U.S.? Yeah, in Florida, we didn't used to have a lot of iguanas. They aren't really a natural species here, but enough people brought them here and dropped them off that we are that they're everywhere. Just like boas, they drop them off in the Everglades, and boas are everywhere. Florida is famous for its craziness. Sorry, Shannon. It is kind of crazy. And if you want to laugh, if anyone has ever seen Florida Man, Google that, or I believe it's on YouTube. Florida Man. It's really hysterically funny. And the sad part is most of it's true. I'm in WDW, haven't seen iguanas yet, just little lizards. Um, WDW, what is WDW? Walt Disney World. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're not that far north. They're I'm in South Florida. So the lizard that I had outside of my house are like the ones that you put up as decorations. Like people use them as decorations on the lanais, which are, for those of you that aren't familiar with the Florida speak, is just an outdoor screened-in porch. And it was like literally, it was like this big, and it was like you would hang it next to your front door or put it on your lanai. People decorate with all sorts of weird things, like huge parrots and like Margaritaville. It's Margaritaville on steroids in South Florida. And you may as well be drink a lot of tequila as long as well, anyways. Oh, you do know about Florida Man? Yeah, Florida Man's pretty funny. And most of that is really, really true. You had a layover in Miami airport, but the rest of the time I was further east. I see. Yeah. Well, Miami airport, that's where I work out of. I work out of the Miami airport. Miami airport feels like a third world country to me. Miami airport is really like no other part of Florida. It's it's more like I'm not I wouldn't even say, more like Dominican Republic. Yeah, sorry Deb about the warnings. I have to figure out how to use that bot thing. I I really shouldn't be allowed to play with computers. I'm sure Ben has helped me a lot with my computer experience, and I'm sure he can testify to the fact that I shouldn't be allowed around computers or electronic devices. Um, I just pretty much hit go live, and I listened to Tommy Stiggs, and he said just hit go live, and I hit go live, and aside from being terrified, you guys have made it worth it. You made my day by being here and just showing up for me. I can't tell you how much that means to me. It's really hard. It was on my list of things that I need to do, and you know what? I want to do it more often. I would like to do it once a week, and just because and stop saying the word My next time will be to not say the word that will be a challenge to myself, because that apparently seems to be that one I threw in just for fun. um the US is big. I've driven all over the country and I feel like I've hardly seen it. I kind of feel that way too. I have 8 more states in order to complete all 50 states. The majority of the ones that I haven't been to are North and South Dakota, Idaho, Montana, then throw in Vermont, Arkansas, and Delaware. And I think those are the only states I haven't been to. And you better stop. You're in trouble. Roxy wants to be part of the show, but she doesn't know. No, Nightbot's not a person. It's a program that I set up. And I shouldn't be allowed to play with computers or electronic devices. Miami Airport is a weird first impression in the US. New York City was more what I expected. Did you get to go to New York City? It doesn't like hearts or hyphens. Okay. Someday I'll figure it out. There's all sorts of ways you can have it do stuff. Yeah, Nightbot can be used to share all sorts of things, the weather in your zip code, and it can automatically throw up a connection to your channel. Anybody that wants to throw their channel up, if you learn how to use it, it's really great. Living My Best Life at 60 Echo does a great job with Nightbot. I just didn't know how to program it, and I might have to get with Echo for some advice. You are too kind. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, so you got to New York City, Baltimore, and Denver. Oh, I love all three of those cities in their own way. In their own ways. They're not my favorite cities. New York is up there, but you need to go to Boston and Seattle and New Orleans. Oh, and San Diego. I mean, the country really is so big. There is so much to see, and so many different types of food, and so many different types of culture, so many different accents. It really is different depending on where you go to. I have a Michigan accent in case anyone from outside the US was wondering. I had somebody guess it the other day and I was amazed because I haven't lived in Michigan since I was 13. And I'm like, I was kind of proud of like, well, at least I have a little bit of home in me because sometimes I feel like a wanderer and a traveler. So, but again, thank you so much for being here. And I'm like I said, I'm gonna try and do this once a week and try not to be so terrified. Thanks again, everyone, for being here. And I think I'm gonna work more on dating tips, and I will let you know how it all works out. And if any of you have any tips that you can give me, please leave them in the comments. I would love to hear what you have to say about it. Thanks a lot and have a great day, everybody.